the screen for 1 second but I don't want you all to miss any of this art. It's art on my slides. It's ridiculous. So I have to share this momentarily. All right, let's bring in Dries. Let's see, there's a lot of you in here, so it's gonna take me a second to find them. 1 second. Okay, here we go. Doing. Okay. There it is.
Hey, Ian.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good, thanks. You?
Great. All right, I'm gonna let you take it away.
All right. Share my screen. Okay, should be good now.
Yep, I can see it. You're all set.
All right. Okay, hey everyone. Thanks for joining me at Laracon this morning. We have quite a bit to talk about, so I'm not going to take too much to take of an intro. What we're going to talk about today is Laravel Cashier, and mainly the Laravel Cashier Stripe and Laravel Cashier Paddle packages. So what we're gonna see is like a bunch of small tips just to help you out, just getting those fine bits and pieces of Cashier. Some things you might know already, some things might be new to you. I wanted to tailor towards a crowd who was pretty new to Cashier, but also towards a crowd that already knew Cashier quite a bit well. So I hope there's something in here for everyone. Let's get started with this. We're gonna start with Cashier Paddle. And the first time I drafted this talk, I wanted to switch between Paddle and Stripe the entire time, but I thought that was gonna be like a little bit awkward. So we're first gonna go through the Paddle side of things and then take it away from the Stripe side of things. What I built here is just a small e-shop, the Lara shop. And what this particular shop is doing, it's selling courses about our SaaS products at Laravel. So we got a Spark course here, a Forge course, an Envoy course, and a Vapor course. This is all built with the Tailwind UI e-commerce package. So that came out like a week or 2 weeks ago, which was very handy to have when drafting the stock. Thanks for that, Adam, and all the team over there. So let's get started. First, before I get started, the first thing I always do when working on a Cashier Paddle project is starting my webhooks. So I'm using Expose here from Beyond Code, which is a really neat open source tool that allows you to work sort of like ngrok, but then on steroids. Has like this really nice dashboard as well, and allows you to hook into the webhooks of Paddle. And the next thing I'm gonna do is like just fresh up my database real quick. So I have this fresh command, which is basically just like an alias to artisan migrate fresh and seed. I have a user seeded for my application. So I'm all good and ready to go right now. I'm going to start out with one of my favorite Paddle features that Paddle provides, and that is the ability to define multiple prices on a single product. What this does allow you to do is to enable a feature called purchase power parity. And you might have heard about this before. Purchase power parity really is the ability to offer different kinds of prices to different parts of the world. So for example, you might want to have higher prices for more richer countries like the Western countries, like US, like European countries, but have like a lower tier price for countries like India or Southeast Asian and such. So this will allow you to sell your products and enable a whole lot more people to have access to your products. So what we got here is we have 4 different courses, and we have all of these prices in euros. But let's see what happens when I, for example, switch to the United States. So I have this VPN app called TunnelBear here, which is a really neat app. I definitely recommend checking it out. And I can just switch to the United States here. Let's see, let's give it a sec. And then let's see what happens with the prices when I switch. Now, all of a sudden, all of the prices are in dollars. And you might wonder, like, how does this work? That's actually not that difficult. I went to my paddle dashboard here. Just to be clear, this is this environment. I'm not making that much money over something I'm selling through paddle right now. I wish I did, but alas. So let's see what we got here. We got our products tab here, which has all of our products that are defined in Paddle. We have all of our courses right here. All of those prices are in euros. But when we click open one of those courses, you can see that we have our setup here, which is basically all of the settings for the price for the product. And we have this prices setting here right here. So the base price, the default price is in euros, as we saw on the eShop. But I have the US dollars defined here, which is 85 for right now. And that's an override of the default currency conversion. So you can either choose to just take the default currency conversion that's applicable for today, or you can choose to override that. And that's really powerful and handy. Let's just say that, for example, I wanted to sell the course for specifically in Indian rupees. So let's see how that would work. Let's first try to change to, this thing is in the way. Let's first try to see how that works if I change to India. Sorry. So I'm connecting to India right now, and it would be as if I was browsing. They don't see my screen. Oh, I'm so sorry about this. I have no idea why that didn't work. Can you all see my screen now?
Yeah,
okay.
we can see it.
Okay, it might be my VPN indeed that's causing the connection to slow down. I didn't foresee that. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna leave it at the US side of things right now. So sorry about this. Okay, I'm just gonna continue. So we have this paddle pop-up right here, which is taking care of everything, like gathering all of the payment info, so you don't need to gather that all of your by yourself. And I'm just gonna enter the zip code for Arkansas right here for Little Rock, which is where Taylor is from. Pay by card. And that's going to be it. Like, that's all you need to do to buy something through Paddle. You'll get a receipt and the download link for the course when you're through the checkout flow. Okay, let's continue just because we have a lot of things to talk about. If we look at the source code of this payment page, let's just go over there real quick. You'll see that we have this Paddle button here, which accepts a pay link. And if we see how that's set up, so we basically just pass in the product identifier of the product which we want to buy. We get back the product prices from the product, and we get the gross amount of price, which is basically the total price, including the tax that's defined on the Paddle side of things for the product. We get the amount, and then we create a pay link for the product. So the pay link is basically what enables you to enable the widget for the checkout. We also pass product ID here. We choose charge product because we're charging a specific product in our vendor, and we pass the product through the view. And then we use this blade component, which comes shipped with Cashier Paddle, and that should render the view as we saw before. Now you might notice that this is a default Paddle button, like a green one. It's not really fitting in well with all the rest. You can actually just strip all of the styling from that button. So we choose the data team none over here, and then it strips basically all of the styling from the button. So what would happen if we just like applied some classes here? I have some Tailwind classes here for that. There we go. And now we have a really beautiful button that really fits in well with the rest of the eStore. If I click that, it just works as a regular button. It just works as intended with the paddle widget. Okay. So the pay link button is only one of the things you can choose to do. You also have a different kind of checkout flow, which is namely an inline checkout view, which enables you to add a form directly into your website. It just like tailors a little bit differently to the kind of checkout experience which you want to do. For example, if I go to the Tailwind UI website and I go to their pricing, and I want to like choose a complete package for Tailwind UI, you'll see this same concept here. They're also using the paddle widgets. And as you can see, they've done a really great job of making this fitting in. Paddle allows you to customize this really thoroughly, so you can have a really great tailored experience for your checkout flow. Okay, let's see how we can do that. Luckily, Cashier Paddle also ships with a Blade component that allows us to do just that. So it has the paddle checkout component right here. We use the override to pass in the pay link, give it some basic styling. And then if we go back to our browser, refresh, you should see the same form appearing here. There we go. So because we're already logged in, we already have a user authenticated, an email filled out. So we're skipping that step. We're going immediately to the location. Paddle is detecting that I'm in the United States. And that's just how it goes. That's how you can do it. You can also customize this, as I said before. So we have, again, this green button over here, which doesn't really fit in very well. When you go to the paddle settings and go to the checkout settings, you'll notice that you'll have a really great like widget over here, which you can use to style everything. So the brand color is currently set to this. Let's change it to a more bluish color as we had on our website. So that should look like that. And if I refresh, there we go. Now it fits in really well with all of the rest. Well, let's disable this again. So we have our beautiful blue button again. Let's get back to the rest of the talk. So we covered button customizations, inline checkouts, purchase power parity. The other thing that's also shipping with Cashier Paddle is the ability to have receipts. And when you buy something, you should normally see some receipts popping up over here. Let's see if I can get that to work. So I'll try buying another course. I'll try entering. I'm just gonna like refresh real quick just to have like a fresh database. See if my webhook is still running properly. Yeah, it should look fine over here. Then let's log in back just to have like a fresh state of mind. Okay, let's try Spark course. Hmm. 72201. Pay by card. I have like all of these testing cards set up through one password, which just makes it really easy to like pre-fill all of that. Just pre-fills everything for me, though I don't need to type it out every single time. So it's now contacting the bank. Sometimes you get like a 3D secure verification from your bank that's just like an extra layer of security on top of your card authentication, just to make sure that you're actually the person paying. You might know this from the new EU regulations lately that there is some new security stuff involved for checking out card-based payments. And Paddle handles all of that for you, which is really nice. Okay, we bought something. We're still not getting any receipts, but let's see if I can get the transactions. So this should be the receipt we just saw. You can see like a list of all of your transactions that your customers made. You can see the receipt that's associated with this. The customer that gets these receipts can also like add the address afterwards, which is a really cool feature, I think, because like sometimes you just want to add some text-based information to the receipt, which might be necessary for your country, just like an address, text, your full name, whatever. And this panel allows you to do, which is really cool. Okay. I'm not really sure why the receipts aren't showing up. I'm sorry about that. Might be because I'm going through US right now, but let's continue for now. Okay, so the next thing that I want to show you is custom pricing with Paddle. And Paddle also allows you to really easily just charge people based on a custom amount that you want to do. So let's see, let's say we're just going to take the evil side over here, and I'm gonna like switch this to USD for a sec. Let's uncomment this. Let's just say that if we have receipts, and I'm just gonna hardcore count this right now because we didn't have any in our database right now. Let's say that we have 2 purchases already, like 2 receipts. So we know people that have been buying our stuff, so we know they have a lot of money. So let's just say that every single time they buy something, the prices in our store go up for them. So we'll just do like a base price of 50. We'll pick 5 times the amount of receipts, and that's the amount that we're going to set on the product. We use the charge method on the user, on the customer, and that's the specific amount that we're going to set for the course. We're going to like add product title and add a personal prefix to it. So it's like personal purchase for that user. Let's see if that works. It's 16 right now, so that works. It's 50 plus 10 then for 2 purchases. And if you check out that, you'll see that if you go through this again, let's what was it? 72201. There you go. It's 60 right now. The reason why it's saying euros right here instead of dollars is because Paddle takes the base price always for their products. I haven't been able to figure out like how you could like add a custom amount later on. You can add the amounts later on through an array-based value. So you say the US dollars is through here. So let's see like if that would work. Just gonna like refresh this. Oh, sorry, got a small bug here. So let's say that's like 2. And let's refresh that, see what happens. Let's go through this again. Now it's saying 80, which is the amount that I chose here for 60 plus 20, which is like an extra fee that I added specifically for the US dollar price. So this is really powerful, actually, if you come to think about it. You can create custom-based products, custom-based checkouts on various scenarios that you can think of. You can set specific currencies for specific countries, and you can just go nuts with this, like how much you want to charge for different kind of countries. That's a very powerful thing to have if you want to have that customization in your application. Okay, let's continue with the rest. I have one more small thing to show you for the Paddle side of things. Let's go to our profile real quick. So Paddle has this feature. Let's see. Paddle has this feature. I need to go to the sandbox side of things because I'm on a testing account. Paddle has this feature called audiences. And what this enables you to do is like connect email addresses for your audience so you can send them marketing emails, whatever you want to send them. And users can opt into that. I'm gonna like real quickly refresh my database again, just like have a fresh app again. I'm gonna log in as John here. I'm gonna change this to, let's say, James here. So I'm just on a fresh user for a fresh audience member. I'm going to go through the logout to the checkout process here again. And it says here that I'm authenticated as James. What happens when I log out and I choose James again? So I use the same email address. So I know like this is the one in my database. And then I choose the yes, I want to have product updates through the email. Choose checkout, go through this again, labor card. Just go through all of this again. Contacting the bank. And that's gonna be it. And normally, if I go back here, if that worked, it didn't work. I'm so sorry. Something, I think it's, I think the thing that's going wrong is like something with the webhooks. That the webhook it didn't arrive properly. I'm so sorry. What I actually wanted to show you is that Cashier comes with event-based handlers. So what you might know before, how you would like override webhooks in Cashier. Before we used to have event-based handlers. We used to have like a checkout, like a route to override a webhook controller, and then you could define your own methods on your webhook controller to handle certain events. But these days, Cashier comes with an event-based handling for this. And I recently updated the docs for all of that. So you receive a webhook received event for Cashier, and then you can hook in your own listeners for that. So you hook in your paddle event listener over here. And what we're doing is we're going to check for specific alert names. So a new audience member that was added. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to fetch the user with their email address. And when they opted into the marketing consent, we're going to switch this Boolean value to on. We're going to save the user in the database. And if we get an updated email, updated audience member, for example, when they unsubscribe, we're going to update that as well. And that should allow you to add some powerful integrations. For example, you might have a mail coach integration or like a MailChimp, whatever. You can just like save those users into your own email handling, whatever you prefer to use for your email marketing. Okay, I'm going to wrap up here for the paddle side of things because I want to move to the Cashier, to the Stripe side of things. I'm going to switch to my other talk here, to my other code base. I hope that gave you like a small glimpse of what Paddle is capable of, like some of the like the customization that you can go through. Maybe there were some things that in there that you didn't know before. Hope that was useful. Sorry about some of the technical issues with that. For the Stripe kind of side of things, I'm also going to start up my Artisan Serve here. So I have my web server running. And I also need to get a webhook open here. So what I'm using here is a Stripe CLI tool for listening to the webhooks that's coming in. It'll just forward everything to my localhost through my Stripe webhook. Should be pretty straightforward. And then I'm gonna fresh up the database again. And now when I'm going back, now you'll see that we have a different kind of Lara shop. So this is a Lara shop that ships physical goods. So we have like a couple of products here, also with their prices. And it's basically the same thing as before, but a different kind of shop that's connected to Stripe instead of Paddle. And the first thing I want to show you is a feature that we recently shipped. I'm going to log in as John here again. And if I go to my profile, you'll notice that we have a name and an email here. And I'm going to close off this Paddle thing here. Going to go to the Stripe dashboard. And as you can see, Stripe recently redesigned all their dashboards. I think that's much better than before. I really love the fact that they moved the navigation on top here. I'm not going to go over that too long because we're on a timer, of course. If I go to the customers here, you can see this is the customer that we created. And you can see that our account details here is John Doe, John example, the same as we have here. But what happens if I do this? If I just change it to resetexample.com and I refresh this page, I see it's changed, which is really nice. But how does that happen? You might ask, like, how does Stripe know that that's changing? So if you go to the user model, something we recently added is the way to sync customer details. So we have this booted method here, which listens to the model updated event. And when the model is updated, we'll sync the Stripe customer details here. You can also queue this if this is too intense on your app. So you can offload this to queue if you want. But this is pretty cool. And you can sync all sort of things. We allow you to, let's see, on the billable user and then on the customer, you have some things that you can sync here. We have the Stripe name, the Stripe email address, the Stripe phone, and also the address. And the address is going to be important later on for when tax is applied through Stripe tax, for example. So let's move on to the app again. That's one of the small things I wanted to show that we shipped to Stripe tax recently, Stripe Cashier recently. Next thing I want to show you is one of my favorite features in Stripe right now. They recently released Stripe tax, which allows you to also, like Battle does, like automatically calculate taxes for different regions. So let's see how that works. We have our shop here, right here, and we have our zip tote bag. If we go there, we'll notice that it's $140 a base price, but exclusive with tax. And if we want to buy that product, you'll get our checkout form here, which is Stripe checkout. They just have this really nice checkout form, which just works very well. So you don't have to code anything about that. But what happens if we, for example, say that we want to buy as, let's say, because I first want to say one small thing before I start here. I've set up my Stripe account as an entity in Belgium. So because I've set it up as an entity as Belgium, I'm part of the EU. So I'm my tax laws are based under the EU tax laws. So everything I do is from a Belgium EU representation. So what happens if I change the country where I am to Belgium itself? So I'm buying as Belgium. Nothing really happens here because standard Stripe tax isn't on. So this doesn't really like do anything right now. I'm going back to my store right here. And before I continue, I'm first going to add this. What you basically need for calculating tax is a couple of things. You need an entity name, you need an address, and also like a VAT identification number. So if I try to buy this again with the collecting tax method on, sorry about that. I think it's because my VPN is still on the wrong. Oh, wait, maybe I can just change to Belgium. Yeah, okay, there it is. So I've entered I've added the collect tax IDs method. And what this enables you through Cashier is telling you that I'm purchasing as a business. So you can thing that on, you can add your business name. And then you can say for example, BA1, 2, 3, just whatever your tax identification number. It's not that important right now, but we still haven't enabled Stripe tax itself. So I'm going to comment this out again. I'm going to go to my app service provider, and enabling Stripe tax and Cashier is actually really easy. You just enable calculate taxes right here. And what this does, if I go through by product right now again, you'll see that this looks a little bit different. You now have this tax row here on your receipt. It says enter an address, which means that it needs a specific US-based address. But we're not going to do that. We're going to choose Belgium. And you'll see that now Stripe is actually calculating tax as if you were purchasing as an entity from Belgium. So that's really powerful to have, like just with one row in your app service provider, you can enable Stripe tax like that. Of course, you need to make sure that your customers are entering all of their data. And as you might see, like suddenly this is enabled here as well. That's because when you enable Stripe tax in Cashier, it will automatically enable the purchasing thing right here as well. I'm going to move on a little bit here because I want to show you a couple of things more before we close off. You can also, let's see here. I'm going to turn off taxes for now. You can also localize checkout. So if you want to have a different country, by default, it will use the browser language, which I think is a sensible default. For example, when your user is preferring French for some reason, it will also get the checkout form in French. But you can force the checkout language if you want, for example, French. Let's refresh this. It's my product. And now you can see that everything is in French. So it's really that easy, just like one liner, one change you can do, and that'll help with things. I'm gonna real quickly fresh up again. I'm gonna reset the webhook here as well, just so I'm sure that it's listening again properly. Okay, so the next thing I want to let you see is that you can also have subscriptions in Stripe. Of course, you can also have them with Paddle with both of them. But if I go through my dashboard here, you can see we have the subscription based thing in our application. And we have these support plans for the store. So for example, when you need support, we don't, the store might not offer it by default. You need to have a subscription. You also can just go through this workflow. You'll go through the same checkout experience, but now you get a subscription based checkout. We'll choose Stripe, the default card. Because I'm in the US, I'll probably also need to do this. It's taking a bit. Should be ready in a sec. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So that worked. And we're now on the basic plan. And we have a couple of things here which I wanted to show you. You might not know this, but you can offer an ability in your application to preview invoices. So we have our invoices here listed up, but we also have our upcoming invoice. So if we click that, and check out how that views, we can see we have this receipt here, and it's basically the next receipt that we're going to have. So how does that work? When we go through our web and go through our subscription, we'll see a bit of code here. We basically grab the subscription from the logged in user. We grab the invoices to display them beneath the subscription. And we also grab the upcoming invoice from the subscription, which is cool because you can just show your user that's going to be your next invoice. But one thing which is really cool, and might not a lot of people know, is that you can also see an upcoming invoice when you swap out to a different kind of subscription. So for example, if you wanted to swap out to the premium plan here, we can also click the premium preview invoice here. And now what we're going to see is that we're going to see the next invoice as if we were on the next plan. So what it will do is it will detract the time we used already used for the basic plan at the amount that we were still going to spend for the next for the current month, and then add the amount for the next month. So you're invoiced on October the 1st for October itself, which is really cool. And that gives you a real powerful tool for your users to see how much am I getting charged for the next when I swap here. So you can just preview that, which is pretty cool. Okay, I got one more thing I want to show you, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. Like Paddle, Stripe also allows you to use custom prices. And we recently got a pull request from a community member called Josia Montag. And he actually contributed a really cool feature that allows you to define custom prices through Cashier. So imagine that we're going back on the evil tour, and I'm just gonna again, fresh up a little bit here. So we have a fresh state on our app. So we're back, logging in, back on a zero state. And imagine that we want to buy this product. Just gonna do that really quickly. Oh, no, Battle. Need to grab the Stripe one. 7221. There we go. So we have our order history here. This works the same way as I said before in Battle through the webhooks, saving the order when the session completed so webhook is coming in. Sorry about that. It's a handful. And then I just show the products that's purchased with the price and the receipts. And for the subscription, because we have one product already, we can again go on to the evil tour. And let's go to the user. On the user, I have this raw basic amount defined. I'm going to enable this. And what this basically does is I'm going to check if the user has orders. And as much orders as they have, I'm going to take the base price plus a commission of 0.25, get that up to 100 because Stripe works with cent-based integers. So you always need to make sure you're working in cents. And then I'm going to add that to the base price. And that's the total amount that they're going to pay for their support subscription, because we know they purchase products, so we know they have money and we want the money. Okay, let's see how that works. What I wanted to see here. There we go. So how am I showing you this? If you go to the view, sorry. Subscription, there we go. We see the basic plan here, and I grab the basic amount from here. And before I show you the checkout flow for that, let's see if I'm missing something. Here. So I have a custom subscription route here, and what we're doing here is we're adding the price data key here. And that allows us to create a subscription on the fly specifically for this user. So you can put your customers on specific subscriptions with custom amounts, totally tailored to your own custom use case. Of course, don't go evil like I am doing, treat your customers nicer than I am doing here. But what we're doing basically here is we're setting a unit amount based on the raw amount. We're choosing the monthly interval. We are setting the tax behavior to exclusive, and we choose the basic product as well. That's important. So we want them on the same product, but with a custom plan. So let's try that. See what happens if I fill this in. Oh, this zip code by hand by now. Okay, we're on the basic plan now, and we're on the custom plan right now. Let's see how that looks in the Stripe dashboard itself. So I'm grabbing the last user here. You can see that they're on the subscription, like the basic support subscription. And they have their custom pricing right here. But if we go to our products and I have all of my products set up here. So I have the basic support and the premium support. If I go to the basic support, you can still see that we only have like our two base, like the yearly and the monthly, which we saw earlier. And like the custom one wasn't added here. And the reason for that is that you don't want to pollute your own product catalog, of course, with all of those custom subscriptions. So if I go to the subscription here and I go to the price here, you can see like the custom price here. I go to the price details, you can see that it's archived. So that means in Stripe that the price exists, but it's archived from view. And that's nice because you don't, as I said, you don't want to pollute your product catalog with all of these different prices. But this enables you a lot of great ways to have custom checkout flows, custom amounts that you want to do. You can do the same thing for invoicing, one-off charges, invoicing for custom amounts. That just works the same thing. And that's like basically it that I wanted to talk about. I'm a bit sorry for the technical issues earlier on. I hope you still enjoyed the talk. I hope you picked up a couple of things from the talk. As you might know, we have Spark at Laravel, which is a complete billing solution for you. It just allows you to really easily integrate Cashier into your app with a complete checkout flow. We have both support for both Paddle and Stripe. I have one more small thing I want to plug. I'm currently like creating a Cashier course myself, which is going to be like a really extensive course for Cashier to learn about Cashier Stripe, Cashier Paddle, not only the basics, but also more extensive and complex workflows. So if you're interested in that, go to the learnlaravelcashier.com URL. I'll also tweet this later on. I'll tweet out the repos as well for the apps I've built, so you can pull those down if you want to look into some of the details. And I think I'm done then for the rest. Yes, as I said, sorry for the technical issues, but I hope you still enjoyed.
Awesome. No worries. Always a little hiccup here and there.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem at all. Great talk. Good stuff. Okay, we're moving on. Thank you a lot.
Bye-bye.
All right.